Hi, it's Alyssa. Today I'm going to show you the website Species in Pieces, and just show you the animation that's being used on this site. It's very, very clever and really, really beautiful. I haven't opened it yet because there's a little animated video at the beginning that I want to show but not have myself talking over. So we're going to click on it now. So this site is about endangered species. Clearly, it focuses on 30 specific endangered species and their sort of like connections to each other and their connections to us and how we're causing their inevitable extinction, basically. So as you can see, there's already some animation going on that's really cool. The pieces has this little gradient happening where the color sort of courses through it every couple seconds. And then also the 30 species, 30 pieces, one fragmented survival. This has a little static sort of effect going on, which is really cool. And if we roll our mouse over here, you can see that the border around those words gets thicker. That's a really common animation on this site. They use it a lot. The pieces form together to create this first animal. And as you can see, there's animation happening up here. Firstly, with the bird and the little seed in its mouth that appears and then disappears. And then secondly, there's this color change that happens every couple seconds. It does this little lightening and darkening of colors. So every button you roll over has its own like little animation. And they have these little bubbles that pop up with words in them to show you what the button's going to do. These links all have underlines that show up underneath them, which is more simple than the other animation, but it fits for this kind of like FAQ sort of thing. This is his credit, and it expands when you put your mouse over it, which is really cool. And as you can see, these two buttons are animating on their own. And when you put your mouse over them, they also change. Then there's also this button over here that's sort of like pumping to get us to pay attention to it, which is the threat button. And when you put your mouse over it, it gets bigger. And then as you can see, all the pieces sort of expanded and now are just like floating around in the background as we read about why this animal is in danger. This X button has its own little swirly animation, which is very subtle, but it fits really well with the site. And then you can click these arrows to go to the next animal. Or if you have a scrolly wheel or like a scroll on your mouse pad, you can just scroll down and it changes and it's really fluid and very nice looking. So that's about it for this site, but I think the animation here is absolutely gorgeous and really, really well done. And he does actually talk about how he made this just out of CSS. It's all CSS. Like, there's nothing else in here, which is really, really cool, and it does work on mobile as well. And then he even encourages you to tweet him about the project and about anything you have questions about or anything that you want to know about how he created it. So overall, it's a very, very nice site and really cool. And it's very unique and just like super pretty. I could just like keep scrolling through these all day probably. But yeah, so that's Species and Pieces. Thank you.